Well, kind viewer, if you were expecting a good video, I'm sorry, this is not going to be one. I made that long-ass video to High Flow Day 71 yesterday, and it made me realize something. I've had a few really long days, and I'm really tired, but when I'm this tired, it gives me a lot more patience for listening to these boring guys drone on, because I don't have all this physical energy just dying to burn itself. I can just sit back and kind of vegetate and make a few snarky comments here and there. So I'll get back to good videos in a while, but in the meantime, here's a response to Piro314.
Yeah, I wanted to reply to this video. It was a couple days ago maybe that I saw it, I guess, but I remember it was particularly vile. Snakepliskinist is replying to someone who's lamenting or complaining, my word, about people dancing on the grave of this girl that committed suicide. What happened to her when she was 14? She flashed her boobs to somebody a year later. Some pedophile dude tried to blackmail her, saying, "Give me a special private show or else I'll reveal these photos," and she didn't, and he did. And then she was harassed for months and months and months, coming on 2 years, before she'd had enough. When she finally moved away to another city in another place, and she still couldn't escape it because it was via Facebook, she'd had enough. And Snake thinks in this case that obviously the people that need protection are, and defense, verbal defense, are the bullies.
Oh, Piro, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, and just assume that you have Korsakoff syndrome, and that's why you have your memory loss and confabulation. It's consistent with your personality. I mean, excessive drinking can result in thiamine deficiency and then Korsakoff syndrome. The other possibility is that you're a lying, manipulative piece of shit, because I never defended any bullies. So, brain damage, piece of shit, it's one or the other. I'm going to go with brain damage.
So, prepare yourself.
So, I've been pretty sick the last couple days. I learned a really important lesson. You don't know how long something's been in your refrigerator? Don't eat it. Had me some explosive diarrhea. Now, I know that seems like...
That's very good, but how did you make it to 65 years old without already figuring that out?
Wasn't till I was 60 that I was so fucking feeble and infirm that something as simple as food poisoning could take me down. And yeah, 60, not 65. What the fuck is with your memory? You seriously need to see a neurologist, or maybe just ease up on the drinking. Too much info, but it's just a segue for me to tell you that I'm going to do a Mr. Yaaaaaaawn video. He takes the oh-so-courageous popular opinion, and I, just to be an ass, will take the less popular opinion. Let's see how the whole thing goes.
Well, I'd like to predict right now that you do turn out to be successful being just an ass, as you hoped.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. Like, I don't know how this video is going to go, because I didn't watch any of it past, like a few minutes ago. Like, I watched it up to a few minutes ago, and now, ooh, it's new ground for everybody. We'll just see how it goes.
So you're going to have to deal with my lack of incoherent thoughts and points I'm trying to make in this video, because it's 1:30 in the morning and I got back from an 8-hour shift from work, so I'm a bit tired. Nonetheless, I couldn't stop thinking about the story. I told a few people who sent me emails asking me to make a video on this. I told them I wasn't going to because I didn't have anything to offer of substance, because I've already covered videos about bullying on my channel. But I thought about this more, and when I stumbled across a Reddit page about the story and some posts that I saw from people on the story, I feel inclined to make this because I need to address something which really pissed me off. In fact, it had me I was so pissed off by the stuff I was reading that at work I was literally just, I was literally squeezing it as tight as I possibly could because of how mad I was getting just...
Where is it you work? A sperm bank? Waka waka waka.
I'm thinking about this. So for those of you who haven't heard the story, the link's down below in the description. You can watch the video of a girl by the name of Amanda Todd. Amanda Todd is right here. This is what she looks like. It's a girl who trusted a guy who she thought liked her.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is a really old video that he did about a really old topic. But you've probably figured that out by now. Don't even know why I said anything. Keep going.
So, exactly, this is a video that you picked out of the past because this is a particular subject of importance to you.
Or I just now stumbled across it, thought I wanted to mock Mr. Yaaaaaaawn a little, looked at his current videos, and they're all about shit that I have no idea what the fuck it is, so I just had to make do with what I had. You know, just an alternate explanation.
To try to ridicule people that disapprove of the bullying of victims of various kinds of sexual abuse, right?
Well, that's funny. Did we watch the same video, or is your brain acting up again? Mr. Repzion was expressing moral outrage with the people who were saying things about Amanda Todd. But here's a little fact: Amanda Todd is dead. You can't bully dead people unless you're suggesting that Amanda Todd's ghost is hovering over the internet, listening to the things that people say about her posthumously, and then feeling very hurt, offended, and bullied by it. Like there's an afterlife, you stupid fucking chump. Oh wait, you don't think that? You're just being a manipulative bitch once more, mashing some thoughts together into a big ball until they're all interchangeable so that you can be right. Because you're a manipulative bitch. When at no point was Mr. Repzion saying, well, he might have said something, I wasn't listening, but he was talking about these people who weren't bullying anybody. He was talking about these people who were being distasteful. So why don't you try to organize your thoughts a little better?
And I've made videos on the topic of body image where I've talked about girls wanting guys to approve them for their body, and that guy then takes advantage of the girl. This is one of those scenarios. This guy takes advantage of this girl, who this girl wants approval, and in doing so, the guy gets the girl to trust him and asks for nudes or pictures of her breasts, in which case this girl made the mistake of giving her photos to this guy of her breasts, in which he blackmailed her and spread all the images around the school, and got so bad to the point that the police were actually involved with this bullying case of, the classic bullying scheme of things. Images go everywhere on Facebook. It got to the point, I even searched it up, I saw it and it just disgusted me even more, is that there's a Facebook page dedicated to her, the photo that was released. I mean, this is real type of bullying that exists, and I'm not going to sit here and talk to you why bullying shouldn't happen. I think my audience is smart enough to know that bullying, I believe, is wrong. That said, though, I'm not making this video to talk about bullying. I'm making this video to call out the scum, I don't even know what to call you, the disgusting pricks who think that somehow this suicide was deserved. I don't even know where to begin with this. I'm not professional in terms of understanding depression, but I have clinical depression.
You know, it really annoys me when people say clinical depression, like I have clinical depression, like as opposed to what other kind of depression?
Well, let me make it simple for you, Snake. When people say that, they mean a doctor has diagnosed them with depression, as opposed to, oh, I've been depressed lately, I'm feeling kind of sad about something. As clinical depression has symptoms, and basically usually people just mean that they were diagnosed by a doctor.
Depression doesn't have symptoms, buddy. Depression is a symptom. Depression is as depression does. There's no such thing as asymptomatic depression. And, as I said, you don't need a doctor. The signs of depression are pretty well known by most people who aren't total schlubs. So, just going to a doctor means, I don't know, you need somebody to legitimize it. But you know what? Just say you're depressed and own that shit.
As opposed to just expressing their feelings themselves in natural language. Glad I could help you out with that.
Like it was clinically diagnosed? Well, it's not like they do blood tests for this shit. It's not like you can get a PET scan and be determined to be depressed clinically. You go into the doctor and you're like, I feel depressed, doc. And he's like, well, that's clinical depression.
Yeah, you know that's not right. You know, you just a little thing you try to get Mr. Repzion on, and Repzillion or whatever his name is. Doesn't mean shit.
Funny how you don't provide even a basic example of how I'm not right. I mean, it seems like if I'm not right, you should just be able to really quickly say, this is how it actually works. Even just Cliff Notes version. But for some reason you don't do that. It's almost like you're just blah 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 blah. Just say depression. Don't try to legitimize your depression with the word clinical, I guess is what I'm saying.
I used to take medication for it. I know what depression does, and I know I've been suicidal. I attempted it twice in my own life. One when I was caught, the second I passed out and nearly died. And that was due to a bunch of events happening in my life, stacking up and getting so much pain in 1 year that I couldn't take it anymore. And it drove me to the point where I actually attempted suicide by overdosing.
Attempt is another word for fail. Also, isn't overdosing generally something that women do to kill themselves? I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of you here, but I mean, men usually like shoot themselves or like cut themselves. I mean, I'm not trying to slit their wrists or whatever, but overdosing is totally a girly way to go.
See, I see what you're doing there, Snake. It's like you are going to partake of the kind of behavior you're defending, which is to take someone's, potentially a weak point, something hard for them, and then throw it back at them to make them embarrassed about it. I mean, you could assume Mr. Repzion, that this is a serious issue for him. It means nothing to you. So that means that it's fertile land for you because you don't have to worry. You don't really care about it.
Oh yeah, I don't really care about it. I forgot. In this, I gotta do. People can't care in a way that is stoic and manly anymore. Okay. You people are scum. You know, you sicken me. You're the scum of the earth. The way you just make it seem like suicide is such a wonderful thing to do, and like it's so heroic, and being a victim of bullying is just a wonderful thing to do. You people are killing people. You don't even understand. You know, you make me sick to my whole goddamn core. You're like parasites, is what you are. Is that better? Is that better, Piero? Am I emo enough for you? You squinty-eyed motherfucker?
But you can make these points like, you know, that he failed at his suicide. Oh, and that brings to this, those, you know, Repzion acts like those people aren't bullies because she's dead, so they're obviously not bullying her. Well, I disagree, because...
You can't disagree. Because you can't bully dead people. That's just a fact. If you disagree, you're fucking stupid, or you're just being a manipulative bitch again. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. Keep going.
As when that girl tried to kill herself the first time and failed, they found out and they said the same kind of thing. They weren't dancing on her grave because she wasn't dead yet. They were just urging her to do it again and to not be such a failure with their suicide.
Well, gee, Mr. Repzion didn't talk about any of those people, and crazy as it sounds, when I was responding to his video, I was responding to those things which were in his video. I didn't then, you know, research the matter and then pretend that he said things that I actually found in my research and then respond to those. I mean, whoopsie.
And of course you're going to do the same thing, but, you know, that's because you're twisted mind that knows how to survive only on bitterness, right? And the amazing atheist and you look like the kind of people that, oh, well, you know, they made us toughen up, the bullies. So good on the bullies. Whatever. I didn't need bullies to toughen me up, so I owe them nothing.
And also, it's not terribly effective, but I mean, you know that.
See, the thing is, that's a joke that cruel preteens can figure out, and do figure out, and post on the Facebook of people that have tried to commit suicide. It's an old joke.
It's not a joke. It's more like a rhetorical way of underlining that even the most incompetent fucking schmuck will not fail to effectively kill themselves more than once. You know what? One suicide attempt where you don't actually kill yourself, alright, I'll give that one to you. You know, because not everybody can do everything right on the first try. 2, you know what? I'm starting to doubt that you really want to die. 3, motherfucker, I don't buy it. I don't think that you are really that depressed and that you really want to kill yourself. I think you're full of shit, okay? Now, you might be depressed, but you don't want to die. So don't even sell that to me like you really do. Because if I wanted to die, if I really wanted to kill myself, you know what? You would never see me again because I would do it. I would do it effectively. I wouldn't just like, I'm popping some extra strength Tylenol, I hope it kills me. No, I would drive a knife into my fucking heart. I'm just saying, I don't buy it.
Now, you can find it funny for as many years as you want, but I wish you wouldn't do your aren't I clever original statement grin when you're just saying the same old thing. And
you should have frozen it on that aren't I clever grin that you say that I have, because where you did freeze it just now, it looks like I'm Oliver Twist. Could I have some more, sir?
It's just because you're bitter. You live a life of emotional pain where to take the next step is bitterness is required. So you are perfectly happy with old jokes that are boring, that have been around, that, you know, cruel 13-year-olds hurl at other 13-year-olds, and yay.
The river tells no lies, but standing on the bank, the dishonest man still hears them. Oh, I do. I mean, it may not be clinical depression, because instead of taking Prozac, I smoke weed and kill drifters, but yeah, I understand depression.
Then why do you lack sympathy for it?
Oh yeah, again, I forgot. I can't just like have any sort of like internal sympathy and then talk like a regular person without showboating that sympathy and how great it makes. Okay. Is this better? Wait. Look at my tears. I have sympathy. Is that better, Piero?
Oh, because it's like I said, it's like the Amazing Atheist situation, probably. Well, I stood up to the bullies. The bullies were good for me. You just need to stand up. You do it the same way as me. But if you really were in that situation, you'd understand that different people take it in different ways. And it's the bully that is the antagonist.
And I totally stood up for those guys who were bullying Amanda Todd. Oh, wait.
It's the harasser. You know that. And maybe that's not the cause of your depression. Because usually, what is it then if you don't feel suppressed, forced into situations by circumstance? I don't know. I don't know why you'd want to get all bitter and know about depression and then say, so what I'm going to do is I know about depression, I'm going to use that knowledge to try to harass people and defend the harassment of people.
I'm going to go ahead and end the video because there's still like another 20 goddamn minutes of him talking. And he's getting repetitive with his malarkey. And I think it's funny that he would call somebody else like bitter. Like, you're living on bitterness, he says, while rocking back and forth, chain smoking, looking insanely fucking bitter. Anyway, have a nice day.